Yo, what's up guys? You got Pokegame here. Today we have another Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Moveset video guide on how to use Spiritomb. This is another Pokemon that was highly requested. I know someone put day whatever of asking for a Spiritomb moveset guide, so we finally have this for you. If you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure you leave a like. Also, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Uploading 2 to 3 Pokemon videos a day right now, all competitive Pokemon content, all different types of Pokemon content. If that's something that you end up liking, feel free to sub. My end of next year goal is 300,000 subscribers. So, Spiritomb has unfortunately been very nerfed in this game. Let's go through them real quick before we get into the first set right here. But one, it used to have no weaknesses, but obviously now there's the fairy type, so there is a way of hitting it. And I don't know if you guys played around during the original Gen 4, but people would hack Wonder Guard on their Spiritomb, and the only way to hit it was something because of Fire Fang for whatever reason, because I guess they registered that Shedinja could be hit by Fire Fang, so they let Spiritomb be hit by it too. It was just some crazy stuff back then. Two, it doesn't have access to Trick right now, so it can't cripple people with Choice Specs or Choice Band or Toxic Orb or whatever it wants to do. Three, there's no Pursuit in the game, so it cannot Pursuit trap Psychic types, which is what it used to be best at. And four, there's no Poltergeist in the game, so it can't go for its strongest physical ghost type attack. So Spiritomb has been severely nerfed in this game. That doesn't mean it's a bad Pokemon. It just means that it's kind of going a step backwards in what it used to be able to do. However, there are some sets that are tried and true, and I'm going to be going over them for you guys today. So the first set we have is the Rest Sleep Talk defensive mono attacking set. The idea behind this is you use its base 108 defense, its pressure ability, which is awesome because pressure means that when you're going for like attacks or basically any attacks that target the foe, so Stealth Rock, actual attacks, like actual attacks hitting the attack, Leech Seed, just things like that. Like I wanted to mention like Stealth Rock, Leech Seed as toxic as options. They are losing 2 PP instead of 1 PP. So it means that a move like what's a good move? A move like Fire Blast, right, has 8 PP, but it only has 4 PP versus Spiritomb, which means the opponent can only use it 4 times. So pressure is an absolutely great ability, especially on a defensive Pokemon, because it allows you to waste your opponent's moves. So the first set is the Rest Talk defensive set. Max HP, max defense, or special attack. Doesn't really matter where that actual special attack stat, or where that the extra 4 ends up going, but the idea behind this is you combine up with Spiritomb to raise its special defense and its special attack, making it not only a more defensive beast, but an offensive threat. And then you rest off when you are getting low at HP, or if your opponent has poisoned you, or anything that threatens Spiritomb. So your only move is either Dark Pulse or Shadow Ball. Dark Pulse, the pros of it are that there's no immunities to it, right? Whereas if you use Shadow Ball, the opponent could have a normal type, and then you could never ever end up touching them. I guess Dark Pulse can also flinch, but that doesn't really matter too much unless you're fighting a Trick Room team, whereas Spiritomb is very slow in that regard. And Shadow Ball can get special defense drops, so you kind of have to pick your poison when it comes to it. Dark is obviously resisted by fighting, which Spiritomb naturally breaks because of its typing. It doesn't usually lose to most fighting types anyway. It can beat basically all fighting types except for maybe like bulk up ones if it's using Dark Pulse. Like there's no Conkeldurr in this, so it could be basically all fighting types, I would say, for the most part, because Knockoff isn't going to be doing much anyway. But Shadow Ball, if you want to hit them better, but of course, you really decide on what you want. I definitely recommend hazards with this Pokemon, like Toxic Spikes and Spikes. If you get Toxic Spikes, you could even put Hex if you wanted over Dark Pulse / Shadow Ball, but it kind of is up to you. But that's like, this is the tried and true mono attacking Spiritomb set. Also, I believe later today, guys, the road to top 10 in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will have started in OU. So if you guys want to check that out, obviously, subscribe as well. The next set we have is a more offensive variant. Excuse me. Sorry, just like I don't even know if that was just like my throat, just like, ugh. But a more offensive variant of Spiritomb, and this kind of takes advantage of the fact that it does have good dual priority in Sucker Punch and Shadow Sneak. But it's a Black Glasses variant to buff the Sucker Punch. I guess it also buffs Foul Play, to be fair. But it's max attack, and 56 speed allows you to outspeed like Pokemon like Rhyperior in that. Now, Spiritomb and Rhyperior, usually similar tiers, right? Spiritomb sometimes even a little bit lower. But lower tier, Mons around that speed tier, so you can taunt them or you can Will-O-Wisp them, burn them. You have the Infiltrator ability because it means you don't care about Light Screen Reflect, you don't care about Substitute, you just go through all that so you can foul play something. Like, for example, if someone has like a sub Dragon Dance Dragonite, or a sub Dragon Dance for Alligator. I know this is like situational, but still, you know, or a Gengar behind a sub. That's a little bit less situational because that's something that's more common. It's still situational, but you can go for Sucker Punch or Shadow Sneak or whatever, and you'll hit them without breaking the sub. You'll actually go right through the sub, so it's pretty cool. But the 56 speed again for like Pokemon like Rhyperior, like min speed Rhyperior and below that, and you can taunt them, you can Will-O-Wisp them, you can stop them from setting up. And the rest will just put into HP for the overall bulk. Black Glasses to boost your dark type attacks. Foul Play is there. Foul Play is based on your opponent's attack stat, but it also is boosted by Black Glasses too. But basically, if your opponent has like a +1 Dragonite, Foul Play is going to do more because it's going to be based on them. And of course, you have the Black Glasses boost for your Sucker Punch, which is awesome for dealing with Latios and stuff like that. Again, Will-O-Wisp just to spread burns and weaken their attack. And then your last move can either be Taunt or Shadow Sneak. Taunt can help you stop, like, again, those slower Pokemon like Rhyperior and stuff from setting up Stealth Rock or Swords Dancing or whatever. It can also stop an opponent from Calm Minding up and, you know, force them to attack you so you can actually go for Sucker Punch from there. That's another thing, right? Taunt forces your opponent to use attacking moves. So you can go for Sucker Punch from there. Or you can have Shadow Sneak if you don't want to have to predict with Sucker Punch, but you also want to have a move that you can hit the opponent with regardless of what they're doing. So that's kind of your options with that. Normally on this set, you'd have Pursuit as well, but there's no Pursuit in the meta, unfortunately. Next up, we have a special defensive set for Spiritomb. This one has a lot of options. This is better versus the Psychics, I would say, without having to get boost from Calm Mind. So this is good to check like Miss Magius and Alakazam. Though watch out for Dazzling Gleam, but it won't 2-hit KO you, so you're good. And then Miss Magius and Alakazam and things like that. But special defensive, we do have a lot of options, as you can see. Will-O-Wisp is going to be your main move on the set. Burning an opponent is the best thing, no matter what. Your physical defensive, special defensive, shoot. It's better to lower their attack stat by burning them and get that chip damage turn per turn, letting Spiritomb take it on. I chose Sassy Nature, by the way, just because I didn't want to put like Careful or Calm. You can use both, any combination of these moves. So Sassy, your speed doesn't really matter when it comes to this Pokemon, in my opinion. But at least on the non-taunt set. So Will-O-Wisp, you have Foul Play or Hex as your offensive, or as one of your offensive options. So Foul Play, obviously, again, it's good for setup, it's good for Pokemon with high attack, whereas Hex is doubled in power because you have Will-O-Wisp the opponent, so you kind of have to choose from there. Now your way of recovering is up to you. You can use Rest or Pain Split. Rest, obviously you'll be asleep for 2 turns, but if you go Rest, you can go Sleep Talk, which means that you can still attack in those 2 turns with both like Will-O-Wisp and Foul Play or Hex or whatever you're doing. However, if you don't want to go Rest, maybe that's not your thing, you can go for Pain Split because most Ghost types have this really low HP stat. It's actually better because Spiritomb's bulky enough to take a hit, can Pain Split up and share its pain with the other opponent while taking their HP and healing itself up in the process. Of course, again, if you go Rest, you can go Sleep Talk, but if you don't want to go that and you go Pain Split, you can go Sucker Punch as well, still allowing you to check Alakazam, Miss Magius, you know, Psychics and Ghost types at that. And the last set is also a fun set that I used to use back in the day too, which is Curse Spiritomb. Now, when other Pokemon besides Ghost go for Curse, they get minus speed, +1 attack, +1 defense. When Ghost types go for Curse, they lose half of their HP, and they basically are taking 25% of the opponent's HP at the end of every turn. So it's a really cool move, right? Because you're doing damage turn per turn, and the animation is cool. It's like a nail, and like on the Pokemon, it's actually really, you know, scary if you think about it. But I mean, they're Ghost types, so they're supposed to be scary. But yeah, you Curse, you Will-O-Wisp, and you Hex them. This can stop setup. This is cool on like staller teams too, but this can stop setup as well if the opponent is something that basically you can live the attack, and you can go for Curse, just wearing them down turn per turn. I chose special defensive just because, again, it's good for the Alakazams and the Lotties and things like that, but not necessarily. You can use physically defensive on the set too. Will-O-Wisp to burn them. Hex because Will-O-Wisp is your attacking move, so you might as well use your status move, so you might as well use the move that's going to be 130 base power. And you can run Rest as the last set. You don't have to run Rest either. You could also run Memento, or you could run whatever if you don't want to like rest up. Memento is cool too because Memento will drop their stats and give you an opportunity to set up with a Pokemon. Like if a Pokemon's burnt, if it's cursed, if it's minus stats, that mon is not doing any damage to whatever you're bringing out. So Memento is also an option, though I have not written it. But that's basically all I have for Spiritomb today. Psychic, I guess, is an option too, but I don't think it's necessary with Ghost Stab. Disable is a cool option as well. You can run Protect on sets that have leftovers if you want. If you have like Pain Split, you can run Pain Split plus Protect to get the recovery. But that's basically all I have. So thank you very much for watching. Again, stay tuned to the road to top 10 starting later today, as well as another Wi-Fi battle. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, my friends.